The team at Rapala have been slaving away the past couple of months on the sand flats here to get the most lifelike Yabby impersonation, the Crush City Imposter.
So make sure you get down to your local Rapala stockers, grab a pack before they run out and crush them.
You ready? Let's go! Yeah! For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, yo. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. Fort Minor.
G'day, welcome to ABT Live, episode 60. I think, Nicole, are we nearly ready for retirement? When can we retire, 65? 65. Welcome tonight. I've got Jamie McEwen in the studio tonight. Jamie, tell us the big news about you in the BREAM Grand Final.
Can't make it this year, mate.
Why is that?
Moving house, you know, building sheds, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
You can't extract yourself.
No, stars didn't align this year, unfortunately. So.
And you're the defending champion.
Yeah, it's a bit, how you going, isn't it?
How much FOMO are you going to have watching the Grand Final coverage?
Lots. I was caught up with Scotty Cicluna during the week, and it was sort of like, I'll keep an eye on how you're going, but then it was like, maybe not, I might just pretend it's not on at all and just turn all social media off.
You are definitely going to follow it, I can tell.
Yeah.
So Jamie's helping us in studio tonight. We just want to add to the FOMO, but also get the opinions of the incumbent Grand Final and Australian Open champion.
Thanks, mate.
To see how it all goes. He brought the trophy in tonight. I did remind him, bring the trophy in tonight. You said you haven't even got your name on the little plaque yet. It's like, what, didn't you have enough time?
No, mate, it's been on the, yeah, well, you know, I've been sort of moving for the last 6 months sort of thing, so it hasn't been put up on the wall ever, and yeah, it's bubble wrapped. It was.
You have got it wrapped nicely.
Getting ready to move. So.
And
yeah.
I think the only person that affects you not being on it is you, so I don't mind.
No, that's all right.
That's good. So we've got Jamie in studio tonight. We have got pre-recorded dial-in interviews that we've done from Mario Vukic. The only other person who's won the grand final on those two arenas, Jason Mayberry.
Yeah.
2018, he won himself a Bass Cat Margay package. We have Taka Kawasaki from Daiwa, filling some big shoes in the absence of Tommy Slater there. And for the Victorian BREAM Open, sponsored by Shimano, we have Starlo. So Starlo, of course, you may not know this, but something you'll learn tonight is Starlo used to be the highest money winner in the BREAM tournaments.
Yep.
After a couple of years. So he rapidly went up to $9,300 in winnings, and has stayed there ever since. So,
Yeah.
but he's coming down and he's doing some commentary at the BREAM Open, sponsored by Shimano. So, so that's what we have in store for you tonight. What's been happening? We've been to Awoonga. The Barra event at Awoonga was a pretty big success. Number one take-home point for Awoonga at the moment is it's about to explode. It fished pretty well in the Open. The winning weight at Awoonga was heavier than the winning weight from Mondrian in March.
Yeah.
Did you expect that?
No, it's off its head up there, hey, like just massive fish, and yeah, I might have to sneak up there while you're all down there doing a BREAM comp for a night or two.
Yep, it's well, definitely. We juggled it up a bit because it was a one-off event. We did it on the darks of the moon, thinking let's see if he catches many fish on the dark of the moon. Hell yeah, you do.
Yeah, they're still.
Doesn't
there,
matter if it is pitch black, dead set. When you scope around, I sort of get lost. I'm like, I can't even see any landmarks. I don't know which way to go. You have to look at your sounder to know which. It is that dark.
Yeah.
Barra still can see and eat everything.
Still got to eat every day, don't they?
So that was well done to the guys from Gladstone Fly and Sport Fishing, Corey and Warren. They belted it.
Yeah.
Every night they caught 10 to 15 fish.
Yeah.
Needed like a metre, 6 metre 7 average to get up on the board there. Commiserations to Michael Starkey. They were doing pretty well on the first day as well, but I think their spot just dried up a little bit. He only got 3 on the second day, although Michael said he did get more bites and screwed more up.
Yeah, righto.
I'll like the intro of this segment or the show. what do they say? It's 50% skill and 20% hard work. I reckon it was 80% bad luck for Michael that night because if you get 15 bites and land 3, then it's not your night.
I think he did well down there at Awoonga there last
Yeah,
year.
he did. He's got this little spot up the top of Futter Creek that he just commits there, and all the rest of us would go there for 5 minutes and say, it's too weedy, we're not fishing it, but he commits to it and does really well. So that was awesome. That was sort of up for us. That's the start of the spring barra season, you know, and I know because I've had lots of messages since about people, oh, where am I staying at Awoonga? Where do I go now? I think it's put it back on the map, that tournament.
Yeah, definitely. Huge bag. So everyone wants to go up and catch them big ones, I reckon.
Hells yeah. And if you're a barra fisherman, can you catch them by just anchoring on a weedy point and throwing? Yes. Quincy and Cole Brett did that. They got a real good bag on the second day. Can you catch them going around scoping? Yes. It has been a difficult scoping dam in the past, but you can sort of catch them both ways now, and we had both sorts of teams in the top 10 there. Yeah,
it's good to see the both different sort of techniques still sort of going at each other.
Yep. The most common thing I'm asked is, where is the best place to stay at Awoonga? And I'll tell you, we stayed at the caravan park opposite the Ampol Servo there.
Yep.
What's it called? Boyne River Tourist Park, $125 a night for a big 2-bedroom cabin, plenty of boat parking room, barbecue on the back deck.
Nice.
Best value cabins, I reckon, around the country. So if you're going there, definitely Boyne River Tourist Park, give them a call. What else is happening? We're working on the calendar. Ooh, I'm going to give you the privilege of releasing the venues for 2026, Jamie.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a look before.
You've had a sneak?
Yeah.
Looks all right, doesn't it?
Very exciting.
Some exciting things in bream, bass and barra. Stay tuned, but don't go looking on the website yet and leave the show, because we're not going to open that page on the website with all of the dates until after the show. So you don't have to try and screenshot the dates as they go through, because we don't have dates. We've just got months and arenas, and we'll launch all of that specifics later on. We don't want to do it in the show because we might screw it up.
Yep.
We just get the website
then
right.
You'll get in trouble for the next
and
week.
away we go afterwards. So a bit more on that later. And the grand final invitations are all out for Bream and Bass. I think the Bream it's locked in now. Everyone's in. Bass, how close are we, Nicole? We got half of them in, or 30% in. So if you've got a Bass grand final, if you're expecting a Bass grand final invitation, haven't got it, check your junk mail. Because I contacted everyone beforehand to ask if they were coming or not. So I sort of know the answers when I say, do you want to fish the Bass grand final? And we do that because if you sit on it for a month and then say no, it gives the next guy in line only a couple of days to go, I'm coming.
Yeah.
You know, and they might not live close to it. So that's all happening now. Just quickly, you won a boat that was worth 50 grand or 50 something grand last year.
Yep.
Should have won this year. It's worth 95 grand this year.
That. Yeah.
And let me run through what it's consisting of. An alloy craft by Bluefin, 5.3 metre boat. Last year was a 498.
Yep.
That's rated to a 150 horsepower. So we've got the Mercury 3.4 litre digital throttle and shift racing edition Mercury on the back of that, so she can be fast.
Yep.
We have Green Marine lithium batteries. We have a 12 volt for the cranking and all the other stuff, and we have a 24 volt for the Garmin stuff. There is about $23,000 worth of Garmin gear on it. 2 GPS Map 12s, one at the front, one at the helm, a Force Pro 57-inch shaft, and a GLS 34 live scope on it. So it will be literally ready to turn the key and away you go.
Package.
And I've had a good conversation with Dave from Oceanic Trailers. I say, Dave, I don't want your normal trailer. I want a better looking trailer. So he's got a trailer, he's powder coated, it's got mags on it, it's twin axle.
Oh.
Snap your doodle.
Yeah.
So it's a 95. I actually went to go through and calculate it. It can't be worth 95, but it's I think it's all the 20-something thousand bucks worth of Garmin gear sort of helps out. So and post-COVID pricing.
Yeah.
I don't even put prices in my boat test anymore because it's volatile now. Freight's expensive. Everything's expensive nowadays.
Yeah. No, that's going to be a great package for someone to win.
If I had $1 million and went back, I'd just buy 5 boats before COVID.
Yeah.
Sell them for $2 million now. So it will be great. So, of course, you're not going to win a $95,000 boat tonight, but you might win this prize package here. We've got a really stuffed little pack because it's a Daiwa Bream Grand Final. A whole lot of some bait junkie plastics in there, some jig heads, scissors, all of the stuff. I'm going to move it in front of you, Jamie, so it focuses on that. There you go. So it's a bait junkie pack full of all the stuff in there. And I've got a few spools of braid here as well, some Atomic Lines Shimano Kariki braid. So some 8-pound and 10-pound braid there. Let us know where you're watching from as normal, and that can be on Facebook, it can be on YouTube. Just put the comments in down below. Nicole will pick a winner, so make sure you say something that gets her to look at your entry. Don't go too hard. I've seen it before say that's a bit over the top. That one's out. So otherwise she's like this. that guy wins it. Aaron Compton, the guy that won it last year, he was actually fishing at Awoonga. We gave him personalised delivery to the next door cabin at Awoonga.
Nice.
And I went out the next day and they had a couple of lures tied on the rods.
Cool.
So
yeah,
nothing wrong with that. Nothing with some lucky lures.
That's it.
Doing it. So tell us where you're watching from, and without further ado, let's go to our first story tonight, and that's when we caught up with Steve Starling talking about the Shimano Victorian BREAM Open. So here he is, the man who you may not know as the one-time ABT highest ever BREAM money earner, Steve Starling. Welcome to ABT Live.
It's great to be here, mate. Good to have a chat.
A lot of people watching this show may have been through the period when the early days of ABT and AFC, but some may not have. And we've got an interaction with you now because you're going to come down and help us with the coverage of the inaugural Shimano Victorian BREAM Open on Australia's best bream fishery now. The Gippsland Lakes net free is undoubtedly Australia's best bream fishery. Are you looking forward to reintegrating into the ABT family, Starlo?
I really am. I mean, I absolutely loved my years fishing the ABT comps in the early 2000s, and even came back and had a brief go again in the, when was that? Just before COVID, I guess, a couple of years before COVID, and found out how much things had changed. I'm really looking forward to rubbing shoulders with some of the old names and also meeting some of the newcomers to the ABT.
It's interesting that when we surveyed a lot of the anglers, we sent out a request for some information asking about some of their bream history and where they fish and their biggest fish and what some of their influences were on fishing. And a lot of times the Starlo-Bushy combination came up, and also the words AFC, the old Australian Fishing Championships. Now, you fished AFC as a competitor, but also worked on AFC as a commentator over the years. Do you still have a lot of people coming to you saying, "I used to watch that show on TV. I loved it. It really got me involved in lure fishing"? Because I still hear it now, nearly 20 years past.
Oh yeah, for sure. I get it all the time, but now I'm actually meeting the up and coming anglers whose dads watched it or were involved in it. So there's been a whole sort of generational shift. But I think, yeah, that era was so important in the development of bream on lures, of competition fishing, of so many different fishing technologies that we use today. And being right in at ground one, you know, in 2001, fishing the very first bream year, and then I captained the New South Wales team and we beat Queensland in the grand final. And as you say, for a brief time there, I was the highest money earner on the ABT circuit. The sort of money that I ended up finishing on is what guys are likely to take away from this this tournament that's on in a couple of weeks by the sound of things. What are you potentially looking at in prize money there?
Well, we have 34 entries at the moment, and we have a few more coming in. $550 a head, so it's basically $500 a head goes into the pool. So that's $17,000 at the moment, of which maybe $6 or $7 grand may be first prize. Now, your total ABT winnings from those early few years were $9,300. So you're correct. They'll get about 80% of your total winnings for your entire ABT career in one event. And that's the way it should be. I think it's going to be a big event. It's on a great fishery. It's all with the live scoreboards on the app, like the guys running it on the app. And of course, we run the app because of the slot limit in Gippsland Lakes. They're legally not allowed to put a big 40 centimetre plus bream in the live well. So as commentators, you guys are going to be able to see real time who's catching them, who's not, who's winning. And I guarantee that leaderboard will be changing every 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. You'll be seeing certain areas pop up and other areas fish well. You have good early morning areas, good late morning areas. I'm competing in it, but I'm looking forward to coming back and watching the coverage because I love doing it back at the BREAM Australian Open. I'd, at the end of the day, go and watch some of the coverage. And to me, I'm really proud of the level at which we can take bream on lures into your lounge room, onto your phone, onto your TV nowadays, because the technology now compared to the old AFC days, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it takes me back to watching some of the Bassmasters stuff and the American stuff on TV where they had the maps and they zoom into where the guys are and all that kind of stuff. It's just it really does bring it all to life, doesn't it? And what you guys have been able to do with the technologies these days just really blows me away.
Let's reminisce about helicopters in AFC. We used to get the chopper pilot in. He'd normally come out to a bass event, get on the grog with the guys the night before. He'd then pull the door off the chopper, and we'd strap the cameraman, whose nickname was Angry. I don't remember Angry. He would get strapped into the chopper. He would be hanging out the door with his thing, and that cost us $1,600 an hour to hire the chopper. Now I can buy a drone for less than $1,600 that shoots it all in 4K and does nearly exactly the same job that Angry would do hanging out of the helicopter. So it just goes to show that you can we can achieve more for less nowadays, and with a limited budget, we're going to have some epic coverage at the Shimano Victorian BREAM Open.
For sure. I mean, what you're saying, it just resonates with me. I remember back in the old Rex Hunt fishing days on TV in the 90s, and the cameraman would have this massive camera on his shoulder. And I remember one of the cameramen telling me one day that he effectively had his house on his shoulder because it was about 140 grand's worth, this camera. And back in those days, you could buy a house for that, believe it or not. And nowadays, you can produce very similar quality video on something that's sitting on your chest and costs $400 or $500. It's just amazing. I think people that have grown up in this era of disruption don't quite realise how radical and dramatic these changes have been.
And I'll let everyone into a little bit of an insight into AFC. Our production costs for the first few series, we'd spend $600,000 a year making the show, and that was production costs plus paying the anglers a little bit, plus getting boats and cars all together. It was an epic performance. And nowadays, I'm sure you've had YouTubers that have dozens of times more views than AFC ever had in history, making it for a production budget of 1% of that.
Exactly.
So disruption's had its pluses and minuses, but what I can tell you is there is a whole generation, and now a second generation of tournament anglers spawned from the old AFC shows that you'll get to meet at the Victorian BREAM Open. For the people watching now, if you want to follow the Victorian BREAM Open, the dates are the 11th and 12th of October. Shows will go from around 10:30 a.m. till 1 p.m. So around 2.5 hours a day. We're going to have you, Starlo, and we're going to have Josh Carpenter, both from Shimano, bouncing off each other and interacting with all of the media which comes in from the field. The other part of this equation is we have a lot of observers on the water. And of course, the observers all have a mobile phone in their pocket, which is a great way to capture a lot of this content. So just like in the Australian Open, we're going to be seeing vision from anglers out on the water. And with any luck, we've got Bill Hartshorn on the water as well, doing some on-water reporting. So you're going to be fed this great mix of angler history, what's happening on the water, live scoreboard, live crosses, and we're making a Bassmaster production for literally 1% of the cost. So thumbs up and hoping that we can bring it to life.
Fantastic. And what you were saying about the Gippsland Lakes having now developed into the best big bream fishery in Australia, you're spot on. I mean, if you'd asked me that 5 or 10 years ago, I probably would have nominated the Derwent in Tasmania as being the #1 venue for big bags of bream. I remember the very first ABT round down there, and I'm pretty sure they had the big tank there, and there were 300 odd bream swimming around in that tank, and about 4 of them were under 1 kilo.
Yes.
And they went up to about 1.7. They were big fish. And the Derwent still produces plenty of big fish, but Gippsland Lakes has stuck its nose ahead for sure. What sort of bags are guys going to be looking at to be a potential podium finish down there?
Well, I remember, backtrack to Tassie, I remember Craig Simmons coming to Tassie, and there were only maybe 25 boats in the field, and he caught over 10 kilos of bream for 10 fish, and he came 11th. He didn't even get one of the ABT badges that you get for coming in the top 10. Go to Gippsland Lakes now. If you catch 5 kilos a day, you might end up in the top 10. So it is a very similar average size fishery. But on the big end of things, I don't think anyone in Gippsland has yet eclipsed Slick Wright's near 7 kilo bag. This is a record on the Derwent. But if you're not catching near that each day, you're probably not going to win the event. It's only been 4 or 5 years since all of the commercial nets were pulled out and bought out of the Gippsland net-free zone. And people, it's a funny logic. People say, how can it go so good so quickly? And don't think of it as we are now putting little bream in and it takes them 40 years to grow to 1.5 kilos. Think of it as every year there was 23 tonne of bream on the books that got called that at Gippsland Lake. So think of that as 23,000 1 kilo fish. Multiply that by 4, so that's at the very least 100,000 1 kilo fish that are still in the water there. That's why you're encountering more big bream because they're not getting taken out when they get to that big harvestable size that the guys were taking advantage of. And of course, who knows what the off the record catch was? All we know now is if you're not catching 1.2s, you're probably not in the right area.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you make a really valid point there because I've had a lot of people say, well, it just doesn't make any sense. They can't have grown to that size since the nets were taken out. You've just explained exactly why that doesn't have to be the case. There's just a lot more bream in the system, and they're not getting harvested at that 38 to 42 centimetre range. They're growing. They're getting a chance to grow beyond that, and we're seeing some real beasts. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what the biggest bream of the weekend will be. It'd have to be up pretty close to the 2 kilo mark, wouldn't it?
So last year on the app, we had a bream that was just skirting that 2 kilo mark. We could probably look it up. Scott Wilson caught it, and it was about 1.96 on the iterated the length weight ratio. So yes, we expect to see like that 43, 44 centimetre fork length fish come in. We'll have footage. We'll have the photo of it. We'll have the photo on the break. We'll be able to see that fish probably within 10 or 15 minutes of when it's caught. So there is no doubt that it is Australia's premier bream fishery. The Victorians have really supported it. Normally in ABT, if we get 20 boats to the first version of any event, we think we're a genius. So we're nearly double that now, and it's going to be great prize money. And straight after it, we roll straight into the ABT Bream Grand Final at Marlo, Bemm River, Marlo, where we give away a $95,000 boat for a first prize. So if you're a bream angler going down as a boater and fishing the Open and the Grand Final, you could technically walk away with over $100,000 worth of cash and prizes from that week, and that's somewhere we wanted breaming to be many years ago.
Yeah, wonderful to see. I'm going to be really excited to see what the lures are that produce the best fish, what the techniques are. There's obviously going to be quite a mix with the field that you've got, but it'll be interesting to see what the standout patterns and techniques are for the weekend.
And look, we've had that tournament one on hard bodies, on crabs, on soft plastics, and we've even had fish caught on topwater. It may not play at this time of year, but Gippsland Lakes really is choose your poison, whatever you're good at. That's what you should be. That's what you should be concentrating on down there. So, Starling, thanks for your time this afternoon and for talking to the ABT live competitors. They're going to get used to that view over the Victorian Open, and we will see you down there. Thank you very much for your time.
Mate, I'm really looking forward to it, and tight lines to you and all the competitors and all the viewers that will be watching us across the weekend and afterwards.
There you go, Jamie. Did you learn a bit of ABT history there? Starlo, all-time money winner.
Yeah, I was talking to Cole in the break, and I was saying I used to watch all the Starlo and Bushy squidgy videos back in the day to learn how to catch the flathead on the plastics.
There you go. Give the viewers a little bit of history yourself. You've done a few jobs over the years.
Yeah.
Been a policeman.
Yeah.
Been a commercial fisher.
Correct.
Locksmith.
Yes. Flora and
Flora now.
Sort of getting into the charter business at the moment.
And you're going to get into the charters. So there you go, jack of all trades, mate.
Yeah.
If I find a commercial fisherman that needs a knob change on his boat after a crime,
and
you'll be qualified and do a floor.
Yeah. No, it's either that or I've got very short patience with stuff. So
there you go. A few years and you're done.
Yeah.
Let's have a chat about the Victorian, that BREAM Open sponsored by Shimano. What a cracking feel for that. I've got 37 paid entries at the moment for that.
Yeah.
Which makes it bigger than any of the other Opens, including the Australian Open.
Yeah. And we were just going through the field and it's like, wow, anyone can take that.
I reckon there's 20 hot contenders for that.
Yeah.
And if they all fire, you could have a great weekend and come 20th.
Yeah.
So,
especially at Gippsland.
And at Gippsland, of course, if you find a good spot, you might happen on the fish, and even though you mightn't have that much experience there, that might be all you know, and that might be all you need to know.
Yeah, sometimes that can play with the local stuff. They've got too many spots that they need to be at once, and the guys that aren't from there might go and just nail down a couple of key spots and catch them.
Like that time you put in a claim to be mayor of the Nico River Bridge.
Yep, that was it. For 4 days.
For 4 days. It was
Two tournaments.
I only got a 4-day lease on this joint.
Yeah. It worked for 2 days. The other 2 days didn't.
So let's talk about payouts as well. Opens are always... we're going to talk payouts next. Payouts are $7,000 for first at the moment with that entry, and 7th place is $1,000.
Yeah.
So our ABT theory is always 2 times your payout.
Yep.
2 times your entry fee is the worst payout. So I don't believe in you paying $500 to enter a tournament and you win $250. Yeah. That's not a win. That's just a bit of a loss.
Yeah, imagine if someone goes from winning the Open into winning the 95 grand boat for the grand final. That's a tidy little week.
It'll be
isn't it?
Marlo Hotel Bars Open, wouldn't it?
Yeah, bloody oath.
So let's have a look through some of the people there, and I want Jamie McEwen's top 5 tips
Righto.
for who's going to. Let's throw them up on the screen there, and there's your list there. If you can't read as far as the screen, I see you got glasses on.
Yeah.
Give me top 5, and I want this spread to cover who's going to win.
Okay, I reckon Mario and Prikey are definitely got to be well in contention.
Mario Prikey, that's
Yep.
1, 2.
Yep. Jared Healy.
Jared, 3.
Yep. Scotty Cicluna.
Scotty, yep.
And I'd probably have to throw a non-local in there when it's always hard to go past yourself.
There you go. So that's a pretty even spread of guys, and I'm pretty sure nearly every one of those has won a tournament there before.
Yeah, but just picking 5 then, I was thinking, you've got the Pete Brukel, Mitch, you got Declan, Nordy.
What about Daryl Baird? He's won there twice, including this year.
Yeah. And you got Hodgie there, North Arms. Like, how do you pick anyone?
What are the bets that Hodgie's going to fish North Arm?
Oh, I reckon pretty
80%?
safe to say he's going to be there at some stage.
I tell you what, well, I'm in the field, and who am I scared of? I reckon that, let's have a look there. I reckon Alex Franchuk is always a dark horse.
Yeah.
Always goes to Paynesville, and it's like, oh, I've caught a 42 centimetre fork length brim as a kicker. It's like, dude, that's big.
Yeah. He's like, he knows that they're there, and if he can extract them, he will catch big bags.
Yep, I'm going to say Cromo because Cromo is a tinny bastard.
Yeah.
He always comes good in big events, doesn't he?
He does.
He does. And then, of course, I've got to go Mario as well because he's the big. My point in the later story is Mario is Marlo with a little gap in the L.
Yes.
So he's named after the event.
That's why I said, imagine if someone goes from there into the grand
Does
final.
both.
That's my double header, I reckon.
I reckon someone like Tommy Deere, who's a new resident to there too, falls into that category of, you know what, I'm not going to run to Hollands, I'm not going to run somewhere, I'm just going to park somewhere and wait till they come to me. And a roughie, I'll go for Naughty.
Yeah.
Naughty from some sponsor karma because he sponsored ABT this year.
Yeah.
He knows he made the sprats, he knows how to throw them. Yes. So there you go. Watch out for Naughty. I put the mocker on you now, mate. But you do have ABT sponsor karma. So I think it's a cracking field. Thanks to Shimano for underwriting. So what Shimano do is they pay enough money for that event to buy everyone dinner. So that's 37 dinners, 40 at Meetung Pub on the briefing on the Friday night. They make that we can pay, instead of taking an ABT cut, we have no cut out of there. So they pay for the accommodation for Starlo and Josh, who are coming down for the commentary, and for us. And they give us enough money to cover all of those expenses and not go broke.
Nice.
So thanks very much to Shimano and Dom and the guys there who are doing it. Looking forward to having Starlo injecting his historical perspective and add it to Josh's modern knowledge of.
Yeah, that's going to be
who's
cool
in danger.
just to watch the broadcast of it, to listen to them talk and listen to Starlo talk about how it used to fish and how it's fishing now. It'd be great to see what he thinks how it used to be and how it's going now without the nets. I reckon, and someone on the comments, correct me if I'm wrong, but I reckon one of the first ever 5 kilo ABT bags was Bushy at Gippsland Lakes, where we used to run it from up the top of the Nicholson River. Yep. We used to run it near the bridge there. I reckon he ran his little alloy craft or whatever it was, his boat. I reckon he ran it all the way down the Nico and all the way to Hollands Landing. Wow. And he caught a 5-point-something kilo bag back in the day. Caught it in an hour and turned around and come back.
And that is some Malcolm Douglas shit right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that is a long way in a little boat with like a 20-horsepower tiller on it. And Bushy was all riddled with arthritis at the time too, so he would have come back from that thing. He would have got out of his boat. It would have been like this with the bag of 5 kilo fish. So correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my recollection of how that happened was something like that. And of course came back with all of the squidgy glitter on his, no, the Berkeley glitter on his face. He was like a squidgy guy, but you knew he was using Berkeley's because he had the glitter and he'd have to rub it out of his moustache. He was like this all afternoon. And he. Of course, we have conned Billy Hartshorn to come along as well. I think Ruth may be driving around in her boat. They're going to be doing some on-water coverage. Cool. So they'll track some of the teams out or some of the guys down. Billy will jump on the boat. It'll be Bassmaster-style coverage for 1/100th of the cost. Yeah, that's how we cool. So it's good.
It's cool for us that are staying at home.
Yes. We're doing all this because you can't get there, Jamie. Thanks, save your money in petrol and you don't get the FOMOs. Let's go back and do a bit more history. We managed to track down Jason Mayberry during the week, who was the only one who won the Bream Grand Final when it was at Marlo Bemm. It was at Gippsland, Marlo Bemm. So let's get his advice. He's also not going to be there. Didn't qualify. He's another FOMO. Let's hear what he's got to say. So here we go. Jason Mayberry, you are the best source of intel for us at the moment because firstly, you won the Brim Grand Final back, I think, in around 2017 across
2018
across
Yes.
Marlo and Bemm. And secondly, sorry about this, but you're not fishing it, so you're not going to tell any lies. You're going to come to us with some great comments about this arena because you're the only one that's won a grand final there ever. Jason, welcome to ABT Live.
No worries, thanks for having me.
Firstly, tell us about the FOMO. Are you a bit upset that you couldn't revisit the place you won a grand final before?
Oh, definitely. It's this year life got pretty busy, so I was only able to fish a handful of qualifiers, which wasn't enough to qualify. So any event in Victoria is always a good event, and a grand final down there. Obviously, after the last time I fished one down there, I come away with the chocolates.
That's right.
Yeah,
It was the Bass Cat, wasn't it? It was the
it
Bass
was.
Cat Margay last time. So
Yes.
that's
So
great.
yeah, it is a bit disappointing, but such is life, I guess.
I think you'll be able to enjoy the coverage anyway, both for the grand final and for the Shimano Victorian Open, which is happening beforehand. It's
Yes.
we're up to 36 boats, I think we are now. It's crazy good the entries for it.
I'm disappointed I can't head down for that one as well.
Well, you'll be able to watch the live scoreboard. See, at least for
I
that one,
will.
you'll have a live
I will.
scoreboard all day.
It's
It's a
almost the
Shimano
same.
event too. Sponsor Karma. You
I
had it all
know.
coming your way.
I know. I know it's almost the same being able to watch the event, but yeah, I really wish I could have made it.
You'll enjoy Starlo and Josh Carpenter giving commentary for 2.5 hours a day, and some of the angler crosses. I know when I'm watching an event, I would have made all the right decisions. You know, there's no such thing as a wrong decision when you're on your lounge room, mate. Same as watching footy grand
Yeah,
finals,
no.
etc. You've got it mastered from the lounge room, so enjoy the
Yep.
mastery you'll have of that arena anyway.
No, definitely.
Take us through. Let's talk a bit of history. Take us through your win and looking back at it, it was a 2-day grand final back then, wasn't it? And it was shared weight.
It was 3 days. 3-day grand final, shared weight. So day one was on Gippy Lakes.
That's right, it was too.
And then day two was Bemm River, and then last day was in Marlo.
Right.
So the beauty of that, basically, you could, if you found fish, you could just smack them and didn't have to leave anything till the next day. So there was a bit of an advantage that year.
Yep. And then this year we're fishing Marlo for a day. Then we're going to Bemm River for a day. Then we're getting rid of the non-boaters and chopping the field in half. And the top 15 boaters fish for the $95,000 boat at Marlo on the last day. How do you think the arena is going to like being fished on the pre-fish, fished on day one, but then a day off, but before a smaller field on day three? How do you think that'll play out?
Well, it's renowned to be very difficult. You know, the tournaments down there, like the Vic BREAM and whatnot, they guys catch them one day and not the next, and vice versa. So I think this year with the way the format is, I think guys that fish it regularly and have a few bunch of spots up their sleeves will likely do well.
So we might see a Victorian win it this year. It's been a while since a Victorian's won a grand final. Maybe Mario back in Clarence River.
Yeah, well, it's actually funny watching the events over the years, and it's generally an out-of-stater that wins the grand final. So hopefully, it might be the same this year. Who knows?
That's right. Tell us about weights you expect. We all have our idea of what'll be par on each arena. What do you think about Bemm River? What do you think you're going to need to be in the contest in the Bemm?
Oh, if you can crack 4 kilos in the Bemm, it's normally a good bag. That mid-30s is probably the average from what I know.
Yep.
It does hold good fish, but it's sort of this year down there they've copped a fair bit of weather as well, so it's opened and closed a few times. So a lot of those fish could be moved. It's hard to tell.
And then Marlo itself is it's renowned for having some of Australia's biggest bream, but sometimes putting 5 together can be difficult.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's you can get 5 plus 6 kilos, 7 kilos out of there if you're lucky enough to find the bites.
I think one of the kayak events that was there, one of the first times they visited Marlo, Rick Massey had nearly 5 kilos for 3 fish in that joint. So we all know that the 1.6, 1.7, 1.8s are probably as common there as any other fantastic bream venue. So I can see a script where someone might suck a bit at Marlo on the first day, do okay at Bemm, but then come back with a wet sail on the third day and come from midfield with 6.5 kilos of bream.
Well, that's quite possible. If and as you got the lake there, Lake Kringle, that as soon as it blows up, that's where a lot of the big fish are caught. It sort of congregates them, and I know the year that I won it, it blew up. Most people left the lake, and the bite in there just turned insane. If you could handle the chop.
That's right, and I'm sure a lot of people will be able to push the limits a little bit if it means winning a $95,000 boat.
Oh,
It's a
most
530
definitely.
alloy craft boat on a oceanic trailer. It's got about 23 grand worth of Garmin gear in it. It's got 2 GPS Map 12s and a live
Wow.
scope and a Force Pro on the front. Green Marine lithium batteries. It's a fair old rig.
Yeah, I wish I had tried harder to qualify now.
Well, your mate Neil Kelly, I think, is going to be there. He went and qualified.
Yeah, he did. He did. Well, that's retired life, isn't it? You've got all the time to fish in the world.
The non-boaters, of course, fishing for around 4 or 5 grand worth of tackle. And I can let you know that we normally don't have many prizes for second through fifth, but we got some pretty good little sponsor prize packs for the non-boaters second through fifth as well.
Yeah, cool.
But if you're a boater and you come second, you're about $94,000 behind first. I'm just telling you the boaters that now. So it's all or nothing, I think, in that grand final.
If you're not first, you're last, isn't that what they say?
Jace, the Shimano have been on and off over the years as a sponsor for ABT, but they're definitely on this year with that the Shimano Victorian Open. Are you surprised by the number of boats we've got for that? Like, we're smart. We put it right next to the grand final.
Oh,
36
definitely.
boats.
Like, it's probably one of the place where you can get a 5+ kilo bag comfortably. It's a system that, like, I'm still yet to work it out. Like, I've caught a handful of good fish over the years, but never actually been able to get a fluid bite. And with its reputation, it's surprised there's not more that entered.
It's I think anytime we do an event, if we get over 20, we think we're pretty clever. So it's going to be a great event there. Jason, thanks for making the time and not telling us to go and jump when we asked you to come and talk about the grand final. We know there'll be feelings there and the sponsor karma's all evaporated, but thanks for joining us and enjoy the coverage.
No, I will do, and good luck with it all, and to everyone that fishes it.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, thanks, guys.
Well, great information for Jason, but sorry about that. My home internet is obviously rubbish because that looked like the Lego movie. Yep. Sitting there in the spare room. So apologies. Nicole was not in charge of, I was in charge of my poor quality. Nicole, you did a great job with Jason. So how good was that for Jace? He had a weekend in East Gippsland and 70 grand boat out of it.
Yeah, that was, I remember that last day at Marlo. For him to win that, he deserved every minute of it because that was the most horrible conditions
Wasn't it? Yeah. Everyone nearly sinking in the lake. And if you did sink in the lake, you just have to get out and walk because it's only knee deep, the water in there.
Yeah, no, that was horrendous that day.
Now, since we've got you in here, Jamie, we fed you up a bit of dinner. We're going to make you work for your meal now.
Yep.
You get to launch the dates and locations of next year's Bream, Bass and Barra calendars.
Cool.
And as an added twist, he hadn't really seen them until now. We gave him a bit of a glimpse before, but you're just winging this as you go. So let's start with Bream. There is these lists, and Nicole, get the Bream slide up and let's let everyone know where we're going to fish next year for Bream. Now, the way the mechanic works is we're not going to... We'll put this on the website live after the show. So you don't need to snapshot this. Wait a couple of minutes after the show. You can go to... The actual dates will be there. But Jamie, given the flavour of Bream for next year, which of course is the Daiwa Bream Series again, they're locked in for next year, aren't they, Nicole?
Yes.
Daiwa Bream Series starts where, Jamie?
It starts at Gippsland Lakes, mate, as we do most years. It's a good way to start it with huge bags, I reckon.
Or huge fields and huge bags. And why would you change our most popular events on tour? I haven't seen a reason to do it yet.
No.
I'm not going to go to Warrnambool and Nelson, sorry.
You definitely wouldn't want to be down there in July anyways because it's too cold. But I reckon, February is the place to be at Gippy and Malakuta.
Now, April, going to Tassie. We start Malakuta we start Victoria early in February to give it a bit of a gap between there and Tassie because you don't want to go to Vicky and then 3 weeks later have to jump on the ferry to Tassie because one, you spend all your money, and two, you've spent all your brandy points going to Vicky, so you need to build some up by April. So we have got a new ABT tournament arena in
that river,
Huon River. So we did the test. That's the one that Wally won.
Oh,
Wally and Mark Lennox caught 74 bream or something for the session in there.
Yeah, righto.
And a 7 kilo bag.
Yeah. Yep. So we've gone back there.
And Derwent River is the other one.
Yeah.
But the teams event, there's a 2-day teams event now. We've changed it from 1 day to a 2-day at.
St Helens.
And that's a great flats fishery. So you can fish with your mate in that one, and that's the Tasmanian BREAM Open, that's called. So
okay.
get back from there. We go down to Sydney and do what I think is one of your favourite runs for ABT.
Yeah, mate. Love the Hawkesbury River, and of course, absolutely insane, the Sydney Harbour. I love that too.
The Australian Open. You're the defending champion for that, and you're going to defend your title this time?
100%. I will definitely be there.
How many people you think are going to be detuned crankbaiting boats?
Doesn't really matter, mate, because it's like boats wherever you turn. So
that's right. So many boats. I think I did a Chat GPT search on it.
Yeah.
And there's something like 2,000 boats in Sydney Harbour, moored boats.
Yeah.
It counted them for me because
Yeah,
I can't count more than about 20.
Yeah. No. Can't wait for that. But might the reef might fire again.
Ooh. Well, everyone drops in for a look nowadays.
That's right.
Hey, this is the mind game starting now, right now.
Already.
1st of October. The mind games
You heard it here first.
And we sort of guessed the WA event, but we thought maybe that they still haven't locked in a date, but May Blackwood River is as good as WA gets, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. Now, another trophy you've had before.
Yep.
In July, what is it?
The Samaki. Is it Samaki?
Of course it's going to be Samaki.
Yep.
Josh loves
Samaki Queensland Open.
On Moreton Bay and the Gold Coast again.
Yep.
So
that's always a good tournament.
I would like to point out the fact that I beat you by like 1 gram this year in that.
That's been the trend all year. I think we need to have a new person at the scales. Or
that was an app.
Yes, well, I don't know. It always seems to be more goes a couple of grams in front of me all year.
And let's say that at the scales, I always weigh in first, so you know what you got to be.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's like, come on, dude. You actually, because I weigh first, you're probably still fishing.
Yeah, that's right.
When I'm already on the scoreboard,
Possibly.
so you've got the opportunity to upgrade.
Possibly. That was. It's always a good comp. And day 2 was a grind in the Samaki Queensland Open this year. So yeah, it was anyone's opportunity to win it.
Yeah, the coast was the star and the bay was the difficult one.
Yeah, that's
not like
right.
that every year.
No. And then August, Tweed River.
Always popular.
Yeah.
I'm always super surprised that the Tweed River is more popular than the Gold Coast.
Yeah. I think
it is.
It is one of them rivers where it's not overly complicated with 6-knot zones, canals, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, simple.
Yeah. And it's a great fishery, especially in August. You can, even though the bags were small this year, you could catch a bazillion fish each day.
No one comes in without a 5-fish limit, basically.
No, that's it.
It might be 1.6 kilos.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
It's all right.
That's exactly right.
And look at that. Where are we going back to in September?
Yes, that's the exciting one for me, Gladstone. Can't wait to get back up there. It's a fishery that sort of haven't spent heaps of time there, but the time I have spent there, it's just been awesome. You get such a big variety of big bycatch. I think Steve Wilson caught a barra a couple of years ago.
Yeah, 87 centimetre barra.
Coral trout. Yep. I had one of my non-boaters a few years ago caught a big permit on a chubby, and it's a cool. Yeah,
giant squid. Scotty Ciclina got a 50 centimetre jack in the back of your boat. I remember.
Yeah. So it's just a cool place catching the brim up there. Yeah.
I had an upgrade eaten by a groper once on the way into the boat. It's like, come on,
broadside
upgrade.
bridge.
It's like, no sir.
Yeah. No, that's a cool place.
Yep. And in October, we're going to try and go back and do something at
Manning River. So we couldn't go there this year because of the floods, obviously. So it'd be good to get there this year and
everything's had a good flush out.
Support the locals down there, and then it's.
But October, top order should be started.
Yeah, good time to be there.
Yep. And then grand final, we're already letting everyone know where it is. Foster in December. Tell me what Foster's going to fish like in December. Everything's going to be looking upwards.
I've never been there in December, but I reckon it'll be just tying topwater, mate. And
topwater lake, topwater rivers.
Yeah,
racks. Just everything's looking upwards for prawns.
Yeah, it'll be cool. And one of my favourite ways to fish for the brim is topwater.
Awesome. So there you go. How do you like the calendar? I must say I had bugger all to do with that. Yep. I probably had some say on the Tassie stuff.
Yeah.
I had some opinions on that, but Nicole, well done. Looks like a good calendar.
Yep.
Jamie gives it the thumbs up or the...
No, definitely thumbs up, and very happy with the ad of Gladstone back there this year.
Nice.
Next year.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's get you into something that you're only started in. Let's go bass second. Here's the bass calendar. You haven't even looked at that one?
No, haven't looked at this one. but it looks good to me.
Double header.
I know heaps about bass.
Well, you fished a Bass Australian Open.
Yeah.
You got a limit?
Yeah, there's my two favourite venues, and the only two venues I've ever fished is Somerset and Clarence, and they're both on there. So I'm happy with that.
Somerset and the Clarence. You haven't done the Richmond?
No, haven't done the Richmond.
So that's a double head. Is that a double header, Nicole? Straight off. Yep. So Clarence and Richmond, they're only about 2 hours apart.
Yep.
Both very fishy. Like you don't go to Clarence and catch nothing a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's very much a fish fest.
Yes, that's right. And yeah, it just depends how much rain they've had in that period leading up is where the fish will be usually.
Yep.
Hey?
When we went to Glenbourne this year, everyone said, "Oh, you're about a month too late." So what did you do, Nicole? Made it a month earlier, didn't you? Listen to the feedback.
Yep.
So Glenbourne Dam, that's of course, big bass mecca of New South Wales. They're getting bigger all the time.
Yeah, okay.
It didn't run over, it just trickled over this year, so they didn't lose any big fish out of there, and they will be growing up big time between now and then. So a qualifier then. September, you fished half of this doubleheader this year.
Yep.
The biggest bass lakes at the biggest bass time of year.
Yeah, that's I love Somerset. I haven't spent a lot of time at Wivenhoe, but I love Somerset just because you can go out and catch them in the deep, which everyone was doing in the pre-fish leading up to the comp, but it ended up being one off the edges. So yeah, you can catch big bass anywhere there, so it's a great fishery.
And Wivenhoe Dam, bigger winning weight than Somerset.
Yeah. Yes, that's interesting, isn't it, hearing that? But yeah, I haven't spent much time there, but it's definitely somewhere where I'll probably look at doing this year in September.
Now, you know absolutely nothing about Lake St Clair, do you?
Never been there, mate.
So
no.
that'll be the Australian Open for the bass next year, and then Glenbourne Dam for the grand final. So New South Wales guys, you're probably going to have to do Glenbourne, Clarence, Richmond, maybe even come to Queensland to do. And we all saw from Ben Hay this year, New South Wales guys can do good in Queensland.
Yeah, mate, it was good to see him. He's someone that puts a lot of time into. I know he put a lot of time into getting up to Somerset and Wivenhoe before the comp. So
and was rewarded with Angler of the Year.
Good to see him get the result that he was going for.
Cool. All right, well, that's Bass, and that'll be the Rapala Bass Pro Series again next year. Also, next year, there'll be the Wilson Barra Series. Oh, look at the camera there. Look, we printed that one on sticker paper. There you go. It's a puzzle. So I know you love your barra fishing.
Yes.
So run us through what barra's happening next year. We've got a northern and southern tour.
Super excited about the March Southern Barra Tour.
Do you remember what we told you, what that format is?
100% I do, but you've written it down different to how you told me. But anyways.
Tell them what we told you.
So you said we were going to go to Awoonga for 2 nights. And then we were going to go to Mondrian for an all-nighter.
Yep.
Have a day off, and then have a 2-nighter after that.
Very good retention. So it's sort of like the Barra Tour up north, down south, but it's in March. So we all know that it's sometimes hard to get a week off to go barra fishing. So we've put one in. This year it sort of goes month after month, but next year, March, Southern Barra Tour. End of year, November, Northern Barra Tour, and then we slipped a sneaky little open in at the time of the year at Fished World this year. So
yeah, so we can do, the guys that want to come up and do the Bream at Gladstone can do the
Barra the next weekend.
Holy, how good is that?
So you reckon you're going to sign up for that, Bream then Barra?
Definitely, we'll be pre-fishing the Barra after the Bream tournaments.
There you go. And that wasn't, I'd like doing that too. So we'll finish Bream, have one day pre-fish Bream because they're easy.
Yeah.
Then we'll have a whole week pre-fishing for the Barra, and on the Friday night they'll change.
Yes, correct.
And we'll catch nothing.
There'll be a cold snap or something.
So that's Barra. So thank you very much, mate. And so all up, give Nicole a mark out of 10 for tournament calendar setting.
Definitely nailed it.
Nailed it. Yeah, that's not a number, but nailing is probably, I'll say a 9. There you go. Well, there you go. Remember, it's going to be live on the website. As soon as we finish the show, Nicole will flick that switch and make it live, so don't worry about screenshotting that. We've hoped you've burned it into your memory then anyway. We're going to talk a little bit about the grand final field because, again, you're not going to be there, so you can offer some fair insights as to who's fishing the grand final. Let's go first to the non-boaters. Nicole, why don't you whack that slide up there? There's your grand final field for the non-boaters, and everyone can see who's qualified there. I want your top 5 who you think are going to whack it from the back of the boat. Now, the asterisks on there, Dallas Blatchford, Neil Kelly, Cole Wilson, what does that mean, you reckon?
They've already won it once.
There you go. I think like in the Bream Boaters division, I don't think we've had a 2-time winner ever.
No.
So you haven't had much time to look at this. In fact, you're looking at it now. Who, apart from Nathan Booth, who's won non-boater Angler of the Year, who's got a big good chance, who else ticks the box? Because you probably would have fished with a lot of these guys over the years.
I was going to say Nathan Booth straight off because he just seems, sometimes it's like non-boaters are like, oh, it depends on your draw. Doesn't seem to matter who he draws. He always catches them.
He's
from
like
the back of the
Stewie
boat.
Walker used to
Yes,
be.
Yes.
And in fact, if your boater's not catching, that's even better for Stewie because he's leaving more for you to catch.
Definitely learn a thing or two off him at Malakuta this year.
Awesome. So there's one, Boothie.
Yep. I would also say Denny.
Danny Tescare. You took him for a sneaky pre-fish at the Tweed.
Yes. Can fish and is local down there.
Local, awesome. Yep. What about Harry Young? He's the guy that from the back of the boat always catches a 40-something in Gippsland Lakes.
Which is...
And I think he lives Orbost, so he's like a Marlo local.
Yep.
I'm giving you a heads up for him.
Yep. No. Who else would I say there? Mark Street always seems to do all right too, doesn't he?
He's the crowd favourite.
Yeah.
He won at Foster. He nearly won the second one at Foster as well. He had a good day one bag and then choked a little on day two.
Yeah.
What about your mate Gav Atkin from Queensland? What do you give it? Put some odds on him.
Oh, it just depends on Gav. He can catch him if he gets the good draw, and he's improving all throughout the year. So he's qualified for the Bass and the Brim Grand Final. So yeah, I would have a little sneaky roughy bet on Gav.
I tell you what, if I had some input into this decision, you Ben Oakes from WA can catch him and is a black bream specialist.
Yeah, righto. Yeah, it's anyone's in it. Like Lindsay Pryke, he's a local down there as well. So these guys know how to catch them from the back of the boat. So they might upset a few of the boaters.
All right, you're warmed up now, so let's throw the boater list on. And again, I look at this field. No one got into this grand final by humping spiders.
No.
They got in there by catching them all over the country.
100%. If there was going to be a year where someone's going to win the grand final twice, because it does seem to be the hardest trophy to get your hands on, I reckon Mario's got to be pretty short odds to be the first one to do that.
You're putting the mocker on him something fierce, aren't you?
Oh, he just knows how to catch them when he needs to.
He does indeed. And look, he won the Clarence. I don't think he'd ever been there before.
No, that's right. So,
but was that a case of an interstater coming in, only having one spot and milking it?
100%. That definitely could have played well into his hands. But you go through this field and anyone could win it. Like you would not sort of say, oh no, he's just sort of there for to make up numbers. They're all there and they can all catch. So
I want you to give us a roughie then. Give us a roughie who may not have impressed during the year, but they might come good.
I reckon. Let's go for I'm
going to go him. I'm going to go Mitchie Blomqvist.
Yeah, I don't reckon he's a roughie though. I reckon he's up there.
Well, he only qualified 21st, so he's not like this is sort of nearly out order of qualification.
He sort of didn't do all the tournaments.
That's order they entered in.
Oh, that's order. Okay, so
yeah,
Mitch
he was well up there in the angler. Yeah, he did well at Clarence, and I think he only sort of bombed a little bit at Hawkesbury, maybe.
All right, so this is mine then. I know who the last person entered was, and it was Adam Kennedy. Was he the last man in, Nicole?
Last man in, yeah.
Last man in. I'm going to go my roughie is Adam Kennedy because all of the time, the last one in the grand final pulled something out of the hat. Scotty Wilson a couple of years ago was
Adam
last
Kennedy
one in.
Was second last year?
He was, yes, he was. You disappointed him greatly last year.
They've got to lose one to win one, they reckon.
There you go.
Came second to Franco there, so...
Oh, that is a good rut. There you go. We both agree on the rut. Adam Kennedy, take a spare tow bar.
Yeah.
Because if Mario stutters, you're in.
Yes, that's right. And, Blake O'Grady can sort of go all right, so, yeah.
Hey, if the Marihugh Crab plays,
yeah,
he has got a loaded deck full of them, hasn't
he? He has indeed, so
there you go, strong field.
Yeah, and you can't go past Scotty Wilson. He's always sort of there or thereabouts.
Mate, Scotty just finds a way, doesn't he?
In a grand final.
I'll tell you something about Scotty Wilson. This year at Gippsland Lake, or was it the year before, he caught a 2 kilo bream.
That's right. Yeah,
so he always just finds the big ones.
Yeah. So,
but he wasn't last one in this year, so he's probably screwed his chances.
Yes, true. Adam Kennedy's taken that one.
He's taken it. All right, mate. Well, appreciate that insight there. That is the grand final field. Nicole, we are running the estimated scoreboard, yes? Planning to. So you should have an idea of how the guys are going on the water there, and then you can have a go at how good an estimator they are. For instance, Chris Hickson there, previous grand final winner, will say, I've got 2 kilos.
2 kilo every day, all day.
And in comes 5.1. That's how he rolls. And I think it's not him playing a game. He seriously either doesn't care or is no good
If
at it.
anyone's watched those Daiwa Australian Open videos, he gets it, catches it, goes, oh yeah, maybe 300, throws it in the well.
And it's 29. Yeah. That's it. That's how it goes. So there you go. It's we've had a little bit of look at the Brim Grand Final now. We're going to go to Taka Kawasaki from Daiwa. He's filling Tom Slater's shoes at the moment, so let's see what he's got to say about this event.
So, in the absence of Daiwa's Mr. Brim, Tom Slater, here he is, Taka Kawasaki, the new best brim fisherman in Daiwa. Taka, how you going? Exciting time of year. Brim Grand Finals are coming right on up.
No, it's a shame that I'm not actually fishing it. I mean, I had a time off this year. I'm planning on
Yes.
coming back next year, so hopefully I'll get on the bandwagon again and then make it to the grand final next year.
I think you need to have a quick word with Nicole saying, look, we're the name and sponsors of the series. Can you at least get me one seat to the big dance at the end of the day?
No, she's done a good amount of favour for me in the past, so I can't ask any more than that.
So fair enough. Qualify like everyone else. Look, ever since we've moved it to a 30 boat grand final instead of a 40 boat, you really have to achieve well to make it in that grand final. Gone are the days where you just fish 2 events and you make it in. We had Victorians who fished 4 events that struggled to get into to the Brim Grand Final in their home state. So I think it really lifts the bar for the quality of competitor in the grand final. And I'm going to tell you now, we are giving away at that grand final $100,000 worth of cash and prizes, and that consists of a $95,000 boat package powered by Mercury 150R Racing with all of the fruit and Garmins and live scopes and troller motors and lithium batteries. And we have a fantastic tackle assortment from all the ABT sponsors. But one of the things that the people watching won't know is that the non-boater angler of the year, we've actually got a cool 1000 latest model Daiwa Exist for them. Tell me how good the Daiwa Exists are, because we'll look at them in the tackle shop and go, "Well, they're a bit dear for us." But someone's and who's the non-boater? It's the non-boater of the year was Nathan Booth. That's it. He's sewed it up a couple of. So he's got a brand new Exist coming. So Nathan, if you're watching, you got yourself a very fancy reel that. If I was Nathan, I would spool it up and use it, because the last person who won an Exist, do you know this trivia? Who was the last person that won an Exist in a lucky draw?
Oh yeah, Jamie McEwen.
Jamie McEwen,
Yeah.
and then he put line on it, and then he won the Australian Open on it the very next day and for that event. So Nathan, you got some good sponsor karma coming your way. Tell us a little bit about the Exist. It's a flagship of the Daiwa spinning reel range. Is there a better spin reel you can buy for Brim?
Well, look, I mean, I work for Daiwa, obviously. I can vouch for Daiwa. And, I mean, Exist is the pinnacle of a light tackle spin reel. Looked at myself when the first it came out. I've had the previous models and the current model as well. It's one of probably the lightest reel I've held in my hand, and also super smooth. When you wind it, you feel it, and you can actually see the value for money in it. Yes, it is expensive, but it's definitely worth the value.
Yeah, I must admit, I've got a few iterations of the Exist over the years, and the thing is, they last. I've got Exists that are probably 15 years old, and all I do is wash them in a bit of water, give them a bit of oil occasionally, and they're still good. I could pull them out of the drawer now, and they would be as good as the day I bought them. So I think you see that quality in tackle that you use a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I do the same thing. I've got an old Exist, one of those, the bronzy looking ones from the past. I still got one of those ones, the ones prior to that. And I've had a couple of iterations Exist, and it's never dies. It keeps going. If you look after the gear, it lasts you forever. Same thing as cars. If you look after it, it'll last you forever.
One of the things that we're doing at the grand final, the dinner at the Marlo pub for the briefing, is we're presenting the Angler of the Year trophy. So Nathan will get his Exist and his AOY trophy then. Big news for the grand final. 2 people who aren't fishing. One of them, Mark Healy, who was the Angler of the Year, can't get time off work. And then Jamie McEwen, current grand final champion, can't come because he's got a brand new house that's handing over right at the time. So life got in the road for those 2 guys. But man, that opens it right up, doesn't it, for anyone to do well? Historically, Victorians on paper should smash it in their grand finals, but they tend not to. Like, it's funny, the Victorians come up and win Eastern events, and the East Coasters go down and win Victorian events. Who is your hot tip for the grand final? Granted that those 2 are going, you may not even know the full field, but who would your tip be? You reckon Cromo's on a bit of a run this year and just needs Healy moved away from the front of him and he's going to win, or will it be someone else?
I mean, I would like to think so. I mean, Cromer has helped us quite a bit in the past, and he's a Daiwa angler, one of ours, one of potentially, to be honest, probably one of the best up right now. He's done the full season of it this year. He's had a great run. He's given Healy a run for his money as well.
Yep.
Came very close to LY.
And he won the grand final before.
Yeah, that's
only
it
a couple
as
of years
well.
ago. Did he win the year
Yeah.
that you won the grand final?
That's right. When I came LY and won the grand final, I think it's 2023. So
Yep.
he had a great year in the past few years as well. So I think it's hopefully he'll make it again and hold big trophies up with the power pools down.
He'll have to hold the boat up. The boat up above him. We don't have a check for this one. He'll have to have this check. This one here. He'll have to hold that one above the head. And if he does so, he will be the first angler to ever win 2 grand finals. And I think there must only be about 4 people, I think, in the event that's fishing that have won a grand final before, and that'll be Mario Vukic, me. Who else have we got? Nicole. We got Chris Hickson. Yeah, because he qualified at the Clarence. And I think Jamie McEwen was number 4. So there might only be 4 that have. There might only be 3 actually that have won the grand final before. Every year it's like this year someone is going to win it twice. In the Bass, people have won it twice. In the Barra, Team of the Year, people have won it twice all the time. But Bream is just it's the anomaly at the moment.
Yeah.
Chromo. There you go. So there'll be four previous winners out of a field of 30. So odds are it won't go off again this year. So very interesting. And just for your information, Tucker, the grand final boat, it's a bluefin, an alloy craft, 530, so 5.3 meters. It's got the 3.4 litre Mercury 150 racing iteration of the engine on the back. It's got full digital throttle and steering with the vessel view controls. It's got some Green Marine lithium batteries inside. It's got a Garmin Force Pro trolling motor running on a 24-volt Green Marine. It has 2 12-inch Garmin GPS map sounders, a full live scope system to go on it, and it's all on a custom-built, powder-coated, mag wheel, snap your doodle, oceanic trailer. So that'll be going down behind the van. My boat will be going behind the car. It's going to be an epic event, and we're looking forward to seeing who wins it. It's going to Nicole, are we running live scoreboards for this one? Are we running what do you call it? The estimator scoreboards? There you go. So Nicole says we have got it set up there, and we are looking forward to following it. You'll be able to follow it from afar because you're not there. Tommy Slater will be able to follow it from Japan. Mark Healy will be able to follow it from work. Jamie McEwen will follow it from his new house, and we'll all follow it from the water, mate. Anything you got to say to the grand finalists? What's your hot tip? What do you reckon the gun lure is going to be in Victoria in October?
I mean, Victoria is a very like lovely fishery. I've fished it a few times now. Unfortunately, I haven't fished that the field that you guys going to go for the grand final, so I can't speak on that field itself. But I've fished the Gippy and Kuta. I love that place, and I wish I could actually join that grand final. So something that's always what I wanted to do. Fish the Victoria for grand final. I know the few places been done in the past, but moving forward in the future, hopefully I can join you guys again and make it to grand final. And if you make it down to Victoria, that'll be great. For the grand finalists, wish you guys all the best and good luck. Stay safe out there, and I'll be watching the scoreboard. So good luck.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for that, Tucker. Thank you for the zero information on what you think's going to win it. I reckon it's going to be some sort of bait junkie, soft plastic, like maybe the little shrimp or something like that. A finesse bait junkie plastic is my call. And if you see me fetching it, I'll be way out of my comfort zone. So that's hopefully it all goes well. Thank you for joining us, mate. Thank you very much for Daiwa sponsorship. You've been a great sponsor for years and years now for both the Daiwa BREAM Australian Open and the Daiwa BREAM Series. Enjoy the coverage.
Thank you.
There you go. If you heard what was going on behind the scenes here, you will notice that Nicole is a little bit nervous, but mainly excited about the coverage of that the Victorian BREAM Open. It's going to be epic, I think.
Yep.
Just a reminder, we do have the prize there tonight. If just tell us where you're watching from, Facebook, YouTube, doesn't matter. Put it in the comments. Tell us where you're from. Still got a few minutes to win that mainly Daiwa pack with a bit of atomic braid and some Kariki braid in there. For old ABT members, I'm sure you'll be upset to hear of the passing of Paul Cade. Now, Paul was an ABT angler probably in the early 2000s. I think he did bream and bass, but he did move to Thailand after he retired. He died at the age of 67 only recently. Thanks to Gary Wobbly30 for this information. He messaged us, had a heart attack. So rest in peace, Paul. We appreciate your input into the tournaments years and years ago. We're all going to go one day. I think when he retired, he said, I'm going to go to Thailand to get value for my money because it's going to get expensive living in Australia. Was he right, Jamie?
He was on it.
He was on it. The cost of living is expensive nowadays. So RIP Paul Cade. And a reminder also, Nicole's got a graphic here. Team Australia still have their supporters raffle going. You've been cut over. Remember, all of the tickets you buy helps those guys in this extraordinarily expensive sport. That's it. Jamie's showing you where it is. They make about, I reckon they might make, if they're lucky, a third of what they need to get over there. So they mainly personally fund it. But if you want to buy some raffle tickets, they've got some fantastic prizes. Gets drawn, I think, in another month or so's time. So the more money that you can buy in raffle tickets and mainly win something, Hobie kayaks, fish and tackle, all sorts of stuff you can win there, the better. I think ABT, we bought $500 worth to help them out, those guys.
Going to win the charter, remember?
Oh, that's right. Here's Nicole's plan.
Oh, righto.
Going to win a Gladstone Fly and Sport Fishing Charter. They won the Barra Open up there.
Oh.
Nicole goes, when I win that prize, and let me say, disclosure, she doesn't have anything to do with drawing it. It's just
When
random.
she wins that prize,
when she wins that prize,
nowhere near with the winning spot.
I've already told Corey this plan.
Nicole says, I'm booking you the pre-fish day of the Open.
Wow.
And you better not hold anything back.
But it's for 4, so we're going to take 4 team captains.
Yeah, Nicole,
righto.
4 team captains. So I don't get to go on it. It'd be Nicole and 3 other team captains get to
cool.
go and get the spot. So there you go. On paper,
And then
great
you'll go
idea.
fishing somewhere, find them, and you won't go anywhere near where she wants to go.
100%. There'll be fights on the boat. That's how it works. Hey, let's go and catch up with everyone's on-paper favourite for the Bream Grand Finals. His name is
Marlo Vukic.
Marlo Vukic. Let's go with him.
So here he is, my hot tip to win the 2025 Daiwa Bream Series Grand Final, Marlo Vukic, I'm going to call you. Because that's what's going to happen day 3, isn't it, Marlo? Which is a Mario with the eye and the stick of the eye joined. That's Marlo, isn't it?
It is, but I tell you what, I'd be very happy if you were right.
One thing that, we've had grand finalists turn up to places and win never having fished there before, i.e. you in the Clarence.
Yep.
And we've had guys that have won events after doing lots of homework, i.e. maybe you this event, because I hear you've been out sniffing around and you're telling me that there's not a heap of fish around, but there's some absolute giants, and we're going to see some haves and have-nots maybe over these couple of Victorian events. Is this true?
Yep, that is 100% correct. I was at Gippy Lakes on Thursday last week, and then Friday and Saturday at Marlo, and then Sunday at Bemm. So I've given it a good run. Gippy Lakes is this time of the year. It's a really good time of the year for the fact that it's not Victorian centric. So, the Victorian guys who have their favourite spots, it's a transition time. So guys like me that love going to Hollands, mate, there's a very, very good chance they mightn't be there. So it gives everyone a chance to, their own favourite spot, and you've got to find them. So I fished Wednesday and Thursday, but Wednesday sort of blew 30 knots and it was difficult, but I got out in some of the rivers and actually donutted. But on Thursday, I did a bit of open water and fished a couple of the rivers and a couple of the structure spots, like, where the marinas are. And at 1 o'clock, I had nothing, but at 3 o'clock, I had over 5 kilos. So that's what it can produce. So if you're on them, it's going to be fantastic fishing.
And you can get healthy in a hurry.
Very true. So don't, at 12 o'clock, don't drop your bundle. If you've got nothing, it can turn real quick.
Nice. So with that in mind, give us a few estimates for the Open. What do you need a day, you reckon, in Gippsland? What will you need at Marlo as an average bag, and what will you need at Bemm River? Give us some of your. I want to write them down and see how accurate you are.
Okay, so I don't think you need as much as you would as an ABT qualifier in February when it's like fishing awesome and they're out. But I'd say that 5.5 kilo both day. You'd need over 11 kilos. Say 11.5 kilos will win it.
Right. That's still fairly handy compared to the Gold Coast.
Well, it is. They're there. The big ones are there. But because they're in sort of transition mode, they're not just like everywhere. You might have to work. You might have to work for them, and you might, because they're spawning and they're a lot of the time they're schooled up. You might have to pick through a lot of 32, 31 centimeter fork fish as well. So to get to you're just not going to lob on big ones and be able to fish for big ones. You might, but that's my prediction anyway.
Righto. What about Marlo? It's has a reputation of being a bit of a tough mistress sometimes. What do you reckon Marlo's going to go like?
Marlo's going to be good. Marlo, I think, may even be a bit bigger, but it'll still be around about that 11.5. We had a Vic Brim there a few weeks ago, and I think it was like close to it, that 11.5 that won it in a teams event. So it's going to be harder individually, but things have changed a bit with Marlo, whereby they're spread out. It's fantastic again. So you got 4 or 5 main areas. You got Karingal Lake, you got up the front, you got around the islands, you got the junction, you got up the rivers, up the Brodie or the Snowy River, and they're all through there. So they're not all concentrated in one area, so you can win it anywhere, but there is big fish there, and I think there is concentrations of big fish. So when you lob on the big ones, it might be a really good session for you.
And a good one at Marlo isn't just like a 1.2, is it? A good one at Marlo's got a 1.5 plus in it.
It certainly has. So on the weekend, I never caught it, but my young bloke got a 1.79. So, and that was just out of the blue. We were catching the odd, 32, 33 forkers, and that was 43 fork.
All of a sudden that waddled in, and I have weighed lighter limits than 1.79 for 5 fish on the East Coast. Yep. So that's a good fish.
Marlo is pre-spawn, and we weighed some 34 fork fish that were 1.05 kilo. So wow. They're big, strong, fat fish. So yeah, nice. That's why I think the weight will be similar to Gippy Lakes.
So let's move now to the Bemm River. And from what I gather, the Bemm's probably going to be the lightest of the 3 venues. How's the Bemm going to go, Murray? Because you probably can't win it at the Bemm, but you can definitely lose some ground there if you don't play your cards right.
Yeah, I think the weights are going to be quite concentrated. The mouth's open at the moment, so the fishing isn't like awesome in one big area. Again, they're spread out. I would say that a good bag will be 3.5. You might get if it goes all right, we'll get closer to 4. But when I fished, I caught about a dozen fish, which I was pleased with. But I think the biggest was 31 fork, and I reckon I was pushing 3 kilos. But it was flogged that whole weekend, by the way. So it's going to have a nice rest by the time we get there for the grand final. So yeah, 3.5 to 4 kilos, but there'll be a lot of between 3 and 4.
We talked to Jason Mayberry on this live show as well, and he won with the Bemm being 4 kilos, Gippsland being 5 kilos, and Marlo being around 4 kilos. So I think your weights are right in the ballpark, maybe a little bit higher this year because, the Gippsland Lakes is now net free, of course. It was 2018 when Jason Mayberry won the grand final there. Again, another interstater coming in raiding another state's grand final. Yep. Mario, I really appreciate your input for that because a lot of people get a little bit tight close to the event. ABT is who shares wins, and I'm sure all of the competitors, as well as the people who are going to spectate this event, appreciate your insight. And I hope a little bit of sponsor karma kicks your way because I know you use a little bit of Daiwa stuff here and there as well.
Yeah, I do. I've got a foot in both camps. So with the Daiwa in the grand final, I used a lot of their stuff, but I'm a G Loomis man for the Vic Open, which is a Shimano thing as well. So I'm very, very pleased that the Shimano's come on board as well. It's good for fishing in general.
Mate. Well, thank you for joining us, and we will see you in maybe a bit over a week down in Victoria, and let the good times begin.
Looking forward to it, Steve.
So there you go. Good old Murray. He's not afraid to share a bit of stuff because he knows he can adapt because he knows at this time of year stuff changes, doesn't it?
Yeah. What he caught last week will be different by the time everyone gets there, yep.
We've got one more thing to do before we wrap up the show. That's announce the prize winner. There you go, Jamie. You better pronounce that right.
Martin Hodgson from New South Wales, Mogarika.
Magarika. Is that Mogarika? So Martin, was he on YouTube or Facebook? He was on Facebook. So Martin, shoot us a message to our ABT Facebook page with your address. We will send you out that. I hope there's some bream in Mogarika because that's bream stuff.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure we can adapt.
Thank you very much, Jamie, for coming in tonight. Hope you enjoyed the menu tonight was Japanese curry.
It was very good, and it was good to have a chat about next year and what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks.
Well, you literally know before anyone else. About 1 second before everyone else knew, you knew.
Yeah, it was a little bit exciting.
So I hope to see you interacting with the coverage, both at the Shimano BREAM Open and the Grand Final.
Well, you're going to be live. That's what I've been meaning to ask you.
I'll be live. Oh yeah, I'll be live the whole time, hopefully. And if I have to, I think I've got a sneaky Telstra card because normally Bemm River I don't get much Optus.
Yep.
So if I do, I might have a prepaid Telstra I can drop in there. So you can watch me screw it up as. Oh, I tell you what, a Marlo live stream from me may not be pretty.
That's all right.
I'm not real good at Marlo.
Someone that I can just watch that'll be enough for me.
There you go. So we'll see you then. Jamie, you can do the show closer. I don't even know what you're going to say.
See you later.